we got to talk about this girl, Jasmine Crockette, once again. I know I'm a little bit late on this one, but this girl is back in the headlines for racist comments. These are racist comments that she made about Florida Representative Byron Donald. Now, Byron Donald is like, he's a boss at this point when it comes to the political interviews. The guy has a clear message. He's unapologetic about where he stands in this whole conservative liberal dynamic. My brother is, he's just spitting real facts, and he really is being a voice for his constituents and the people who fall on the conservative side of the spectrum. Jasmine Crockette, in my opinion, is just nothing more than an attention seeker. She doesn't really have a message. The message that she does try to, echo, it just continuously changes. Every other interview, she's saying something totally hypocritical, and within seconds, she's saying something that we all know to be a lie. She's just a dishonest person. Recently, she was in a Breakfast Club interview with Charlemagne the Shield, the paid Democrat operative working on the Breakfast Club, and she had some pretty cringe things to say about Byron Donald and the fact that he's married to a Caucasian woman.
And that even means some of our skinfolk who definitely are not our kinfolk, such as Byron Donalds, who are going to continue to say that, the fact that you sitting around talking about life was better under Jim Crow, is this because you don't understand history? Or literally it's because you married a white woman and so you think that whitewashed you? I'm not really sure.
Now that you've watched that, I would be remiss if I did not let you see the mic drop clapback that Representative Donald had in response to the ridiculous statements that Jasmine Crockette made. Tap in.
First of all, I'm tired of that BS. First and foremost, it got nothing to do with my wife. Let's just put that right out in the open. They're mad because I'm a conservative Republican and I'm not a Democrat who believes in crazy liberal policy. If I believed in crazy liberal policy, which I do not, then they would be singing my praises. They wouldn't care that my wife is white. Kamala Harris, her husband's white. Ketanji Brown Jackson, her husband's white. They not say anything about those two dudes or the fact that they married white men because they follow Democratic liberal ideology. Second thing, to Jasmine herself. Jasmine, last year, you and I were supposed to be debating on several different stages. You canceled. I don't know what's going on in your schedule. That's your personal business. But if you want to flush this out, I'm not hard to find. Pick the show, pick the place. I'll be there. I'm unafraid. I basically go anywhere we do this. Number three, last and not least. Nobody tells me what to say. I don't use talking points. When somebody asks me a question, you basically know how I feel about it because I'm telling you right then and there. If you're concerned about what my viewpoints are very clear because you could Google me because I know I have plenty of media interviews at this point. So I would just say that back to my colleague from Texas. Don't be concerned about my marriage. Be concerned about the fact that your party lost because your policies are awful. The American people rejected it. And if you want to debate those policy constructs, come find me. We will do it anywhere, any place, anytime.
Now, when I listened to what Jasmine Crockette said in her interviews as a whole, and I listened to what Byron Donald said and his interviews as a whole, it's pretty obvious that Byron Donald is the more honest of the two politicians. Now, I'm not saying politicians are honest. I'm not saying they're virtuous. I'm not saying that they are people who we should even look up to. But if I was a politician and I had to pick one who I would emulate and try to be more like, it would clearly be Byron Donald. For one, he's married. So he's a father. He has children. He basically has skin in the game in this experiment that we call America. Because when he speaks and he decides what he's going to support and what he's going to reject, we know that at the minimum, we all share one common connection or responsibility. The responsibility of leaving our children a country where they can be happy, pursue prosperity, and live in harmony with everyone else in this country while being safe, right? That is one thing that all parents have in common. We want to leave something better than what we received for our children. Jasmine Crockett, not to shame her, not to bash her, but I'm sorry, boo. You ain't got no skin in the game as far as I'm concerned. So it makes sense to me that you're willing to echo any sentiment, regardless of how destructive or toxic or deranged it is. It's to me, it's not surprising that you will get on board with the indoctrination of our children along the lines of the alphabet community propaganda and the gender bending propaganda that they are trying to force upon our children. You don't have a daughter like me who plays volleyball, who you don't have to worry about them trying to put biological males on the court with biological females. You don't have the same concerns as me and Byron Donald. So when it comes to who I'm going to listen to or who I view as more genuine, I'm sorry, baby, it is Byron Donald without a doubt, hands down. To attack him on the skin color of his wife is absolutely diabolical because, look, people love who they love. They fall in love with who they love. And the Democrat Party well, they lied to us and told us they're the party of diversity, the party of tolerance, the party of equity. All this feel-good rhetoric, these feel-good terms and slogans that they've been bombarding us with for the past 15 years. Go out the window when they're trying to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, seeing how their party is in free fall. Jasmine, you out of one side of your mouth will be talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and then out the other side of your mouth, you're criticizing somebody or demonizing someone because they have a spouse that they're in an interracial relationship. And you can't even call it interracial because there's only one race, the human race. Now, I'm a person who is all about black love and all that as well. But at the same time, people's choices are their choice. And I would never tell someone that they can't marry or love who they want to, because why? I don't know that person's experience. I don't know if Byron was in a horrible place in his life and she was the only one who was there for him, supporting him, showing him love, and giving him what he needed to become the great man he is today. I would be stupid to say, nah, Byron, you should have went and got with a different woman. You should have rejected her based on her skin color alone. Totally ignorant, totally insensitive, and just totally toxic, right? Not the type of person I would want to be, not the type of attitude that I would support politically. Even though I do consider myself a pro-black person, I am not anti-white. I have many white friends. I have white students. I meet white people every day. Just sat down with a white friend of a black friend and we had lunch together. And I'm not worried about whether they're white or not. I'm only bringing up their color because for the sake of this video. The point is, this woman takes money from George Soros and he's not black. So it's okay to be totally funded by whites. It's okay for your entire message, narrative, and every action that you take to be basically assigned to you and perpetuated by whites, but it's not okay to marry whites or marry interracially. Look, man, everything you think does not need to be said, because 9 times out of 10 it's a white man who owns a company who you buying them wigs from. So white dollars are okay to support your political goals, but marrying a white woman or man is not okay. I'm not even telling you what to do, and I'm not going to say what's right and what's wrong, but what I will say is, whoever you choose to follow in this political world, do not follow a person who's an absolute hypocrite who doesn't even stand on the crap that they're trying to preach, because that's Jasmine Crockette. And whether they're white, black, blue, or green, I will always come down on the side of someone who has skin in the game, someone who has a family, a wife, or a husband to protect and defend. That person is on my side versus some forever single, radical, wig-wearing hyena who mentally seems like they're a mess and socially seems like they're willing to do anything to get in front of a television camera. Jasmine Crockette is not somebody I would show to my daughter and say, you should look up to this person. Byron Donald is definitely someone I would show to my children and say, look, you see this guy right here? This is a dignified man who stands on principle. Does he have things that I don't like about him? Of course. There's no one who you're going to agree with 100% on everything. There's no one that you're going to see eye to eye with all the time. But we have to understand that that's the case, and we have to find the things that we have in common, identify the values that we share, and move forward based on that. And I'm sorry, Jasmine, just the way you move, the way you roll, the way you're willing to say anything to try to get an advantage point over your competition, the Republican Party. I really feel like this woman has lost sight of what it means to be an American. And I feel like she's totally lost sight of the fact that whether you're Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, we're all Americans, and it's our duty to come together, unify in the hope or in the work of making America a better place for everybody. Thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate everything you do. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out some of the other videos. Till the next time, peace.